we're going to talk about something that is in the journey of everyone, is a must for everyone. That is forgiveness. If you're dealing with forgiveness, if you need to forgive someone, if you're holding the anger or resentment for someone, stay here. This will help you. The weight of forgiveness can damage our health, can end as a tumor, can end as cancer, can damage our liver, our lungs, and many other organs of our body. Forgiveness is a profound and physical, psychological, and spiritual act. Why is that? Because we hold into something. We hold into the resentment, the anger here in our brain. And every organ knows it. And why I mean it's also a spiritual act. Because to forgive, you need to be connected with your soul. It's very difficult if you say, yes, I forgive you, and with no meaning, with no, not feeling it. So I will tell you a little bit more of the process. And this forgiveness is an individual process that we all go through our lives. In many parts of our lives, or maybe we decide to really do the job at one point, but always things are gonna come, and you will need to keep forgiving people, things, acts, not just the past, but forgiving the past, forgiving the people that were around us in the past. It's a big start. It's the first step. Forgiveness is a journey into the depths of the unconscious to achieve greater self-awareness, empathy, and wholeness. That's why it's very important to go into forgiving the past. I'm not telling you to forget, because many people go into the forgetful tone, that they said, yeah, I passed the page, I'm done with this person, I took him out of my life, and that's it. But I'm sorry, your body is still holding all the poison, all the anger that you passed with that person. Even though your mind is telling it's not there. So forgiveness can be many things, and I will tell you more about. I have read a lot about it because I needed to heal myself from it. I needed to do the job of forgiveness. And the bigger job I have done is to forgive myself, to accept with compassion and with a loving way, not being so strict with myself, so judgy and restrictive, perfectionism. All of that can be healed with forgiveness. Forgiveness is liberation. It's a powerful tool for freeing oneself from emotional burdens, holding onto resentment, anger, grudges, carries burden that weigh down the person and not the person that you're angry with. So it's for us. That is why I would say, is a self-liberation, not just a liberation, is for us. Forgiveness is about releasing that energy that create space for peace, for clarity, for joy. This anger, this resentment is in every organ, or sometimes isolated in one part of your body. And when you forgive, you drain that out, you make space in your body, in your organ, you cleanse. So the organ can function properly, can flow, and doesn't get sick. By forgiving, we unchain the past so we can move forward with ease. Some people say, I don't want to go to the past, I don't want to remember anything. It's not remembering, it is releasing it, forgiving it with humanity. Forgiveness is an act of self-love. It's a self-liberation because you decide to liberate from what you're carrying. Act of self-love because you love yourself enough to forgive, to take out that from you. Forgiveness is not about justifying or condoning harmful actions, but about removing the poison of anger or hatred from your own system. It is about loving yourself enough to let go of the hurt, to love yourself enough to stop carrying what is not yours. When you forgive, you're not doing a favor for someone else. You're doing a favor for yourself. You're cleansing your own mind and your own emotion. And as there are many proofs, many studies, that it's not just the mind and the emotion. You're cleansing your body, your organs, that probably can make you sick after if you don't do this process. It is a practice of self-care, as it allows the forgiver to step into a higher state of consciousness and well-being. You separate from the person that damaged you. There's no tide around. You cut that tide. And that cordon that was attached to you, that anger that was attached to you, when you forgive, you cut it. So that person have no power over you anymore. This is for you, not for the other person. Forgiveness as a path to healing. It is a healing process that restores emotional, mental, and even physical health. Then you forgive. You align yourself with a greater flow of life and love, which promotes healing and spiritual evolution. This path to healing, many times you don't know you need it. You don't know you need to go through. But your body reacts, your body aches, your body complains and make you feel pain, inflammation, or even a disease that at the end pushes you to go in, to look for the source. When you have taken all the medication, you have done all the treatments, but still there's something else that you can not resolve, is the root of that pain, the root of that disease. That medication will not heal. And then is when you go in and you look, what happened with me inside? What I am holding in? Many tumors are balls of anger, of damage that someone else did to you, and your body encapsulate that to protect yourself. But it's there. It's there till the body reacts, and then sometimes it's too late. So if you do this job before, if you go into this healing path of forgiveness, you will resolve many future diseases, many future health issues. Forgiveness is a shadow work. The importance of integrating this shadow, the unconscious part of our psyche that contains repressed emotions, desires, and aspects of ourselves that we reject and probably we don't know. Forgiveness is part of the shadow work where individuals must confront and accept their own inner darkness, including their capacity for anger, resentment, and harm. The truly forgiveness is to acknowledge both the light and the shadow with ourselves and also with others. We have good things, bad things, also other people. We have been damaged in many ways, like other people too. So when if we put ourselves on the other side of the coin and we damage someone, and probably we have done it, we have damaged someone, we're not angels. So even though we didn't want to damage that person, we did it. And why we did it? We did it from our shadow, from our anger, from our resentment. Something triggered us, in us, that make us react on that way and harm that person. But it really is not against that person. It's our shadow, our darkness, our trauma. Forgiveness become unnecessary in a part of our lives when you step away from the victim mindset that, oh, this happened to me, this person did this to me, they told me, they touched me, or they betrayed me. It's like all the world turns around you, and that person was his whole life or her whole life just wanting to damage you, There are cases that happen, but not many. And normally, people damage you because they are damaged, not because of you. It's not against you. And when you start feeling the victim of that act, then you create a storm. If someone comes and tells you something really ugly, but is something so crazy that you don't believe it, it's like they're talking about someone else, it doesn't come to you. It doesn't trigger you. But when it triggers, when the other person finds something that is really pointing your dark spot, your shadow, oh my God, then we are the biggest victim, and we're so angry, so angry, or betrayed, or we carry this resentment for so many years without telling anything. And we cut relationships, we damage friendships, we damage marriages, relationships with the family, jobs, etc. Many things because of our victimization, because of the big baggage that we carry. So people, the typical phrase is, people do something to me. They call me on a certain way, they tell me they did this act, and on that moment, please awake your unconscious and ask yourself, why I feel attacked? Why? What is my need? What is coming directly to my heart, to my weak point? Which is my weak point? What is triggering? And if you don't know, close your eyes and scan your body and see where this act is allocating in your body. Many people say that, well, anger is allocated in the liver. It's typical that is going to the liver. Liver problems, liver cancer, tumors, that they can end very bad. Also, high pressure is typical when people hold anger. And at the very end, I will tell you some cases that I have go through because of anger with me and some students. Forgiveness will be in a part of your life, as I told you before, non-reactive result. Why? The advice is to become a non-reactive to external situations, including the actions of others. And you can say, okay, so now I stay like just sitting down doing nothing, and while someone is attacking me. Well, kind of, because when you become internally resilient and balanced, the need for forgiveness diminishes because you stop feeling like a victim. So it doesn't go through you. It's not personal. So then you stop feeling attacked. And then nothing truly disturbs your peace. But that is work. That you need to work on the forgiveness, the basic forgiveness, that is forgiving the past, forgiving yourself, and then go to this part of non-reactive, where you kind of disattach. You feel like, okay, I'm whole. I am dealing with my own shit. So whatever others tell me, it's not mine. It's their pain. It's their shadows. But you need to be conscious enough to be able to disattach and watch it from the outside. Is being conscious of your unconscious. What we need to develop this non-reactive living, we need to forgive as individual. We must do the process of becoming whole, integrated self. Forgiveness would play a critical role in this journey, in this healing journey, because it involves releasing projections, where we see our own unconscious flaws in others and recognizing that others are as complex and flawed as we are. Through forgiveness, one moves closer to self-realization, is having clarity of who we are, of our pains, of our shadows, accepting the whole person that we are, and own it. And own it not with victimization, but like a natural thing, because we're humans. We're not robots. We're not perfect. No parent born with no parent received a child with an instructional book. So yes, we have damaged people with no intention, and sometimes even with intention. But from our darkness, our weakest and bad traumas that are still there. So to be better with others, to be more gentle and have better relationship with others, we should forgive our past. We should forgive ourselves. We need forgive ourselves as an individual. We need to accept that we're humans. We're all humans. Like the nature of humanity. And we need to transcend our ego. I will explain this. To accept us as human is accepting human nature. People make mistakes, and everyone at some point was wrong or hurt another. And we carry pain, fear, anger, or trauma. And recognizing this shared a human condition brings as a sense of compassion that makes forgiveness easier. When I became a mom, I understood many things that my mom did. When I was in trouble, when I felt really tired of being a mom, I remember, when was my mom really tired? How was she acting? And as probably from those moments, I got, we can say, traumatized by that, or it was imprinted in me. I imprinted my kids also with that. We could say is inevitable, but it is. When you forgive your parents, when you forgive your past, sometimes you need understanding, but the understanding it comes only from the ego, that why this person did this to me. So this healing path is to stop even asking the why this person did this to me. It's just telling yourself, this person is a human. And as a human, because I'm a human too, we all commit mistakes. We're not perfect. We have pains. We have darkness. We have shadows. We have been needy. We have been needy of love, of hugs. Maybe we are not being seen, and we need that. So we act like that over another person. And when you understand this humanity, you immediately grow the self-compassion, and you realize that you're human too. So for all those perfectionists, this is for you. Because why you need to be a perfectionist? Why? What trauma is behind that? To whom you need to show that you're perfect? Now you think it's for you, because you like to be in control, you like to be perfect, but it's not there, it's behind. You were needing to show someone that you were better and better and better. So you were looking for approval. You were looking for love, someone that admired you. You were competing with someone. And that shows that if you were needing, like we're going backwards, if you were needing to show someone that you were better and perfect, so they love you more, what you really were needing was to be loved. To someone tells you, I love you just because I love you, just because you exist. And I love you always. You don't have to become anybody. And I support you just because I want to support you. No excuses, no expectation. Just because you're alive, I love you. And all the problems after develop just because of that. But probably there was an unconscious parent that couldn't say I love you to a kid on that moment, because probably they were under the same trauma. They couldn't express, they were too busy they were dealing with other problems. And maybe the kid was so perfect that they thought, they don't need me. This kid doesn't need me because they're dealing it pretty good. So they don't need it. This kid doesn't need me. And as an adult, as when you become conscious, when you finally forgive your parents and understand the other part and what is behind all the neediness, you just forgive. You don't need the reason why. You don't need to feel a victim, because it's not personal. You know that the story is bigger than that. That is bigger than the act of anger, is bigger than what they did to you. And yes, sometimes people do very, very bad things, but they do it from the very dark space with a lot of pain. And remember, again, when you forgive, you're not releasing or taking out guilt from the other person. You're cleaning yourself. You're cutting that cordon that have been attached to you and probably taking energy, daily energy from you, mental space, and damaging your body. Forgiveness as a transcendence of the ego is really like a higher step here. Is when you start dissolving the ego. The ego often inflates the sense of being wrong, creating unnecessary pain. The ego tells you, you're wrong, I'm right. You did something bad to me. By transcending the ego, one naturally forgives because there's no longer a sense of me and you. It's all together. We are. We're all humans. So there's no cordon anymore with a me and a you did this to me. You heal yourself by forgiving. Your physical body, mind, and spirit feel and act different when you forgive. You bring healing energy into your relationships and the world. So make yourself a favor and enter this path of forgiving. We're often unconsciously driven by past traumas, fears, and unresolved conflicts. Forgiveness, then, would require deep introspection and the uncovering of these unconscious elements. Only by bringing this light can one genuinely forgive, as true forgiveness comes from understanding and deeper layers of our psyche. Forgiveness as a moment of rebirth, aching the archetype of death and resurrection. It's like we were talking a me and a you, that this you really attack yourself and that you're holding that anger. So the rebirth is when there's no me and there's no you. It's a new and wholeness. It's bigger than a me. That's why it's called like a rebirth or a resurrection, where you let go the past. You stop grieving. And that brings you healing to your body. Your body feels different. Even your brain have better memory, better focus. Because even though you're not remembering those things every day, you're holding it. It's space that is in your body, occupied by anger, resentment, or whatever happened to you. Some cases of this poison are, I will share some quick cases of some students. I had one student with severe migraine, and she didn't know how to confront this, because it wasn't a migraine that was forever there, like a thing that you get used to. It was one day to another. She started with a severe headache at 3 a.m. in the morning, every day. And then in the morning, she was with bags under the eyes. The eyes were really weird. And under a lot of painkillers. She saw one doctor, another doctor, always trying to look what is in the brain. Through scanners, blood tests, like many tests, even physical tests like equilibrium and many other things. After more than a week of this strange migraine, she asked for help. And as holistic person that I am, I start looking the complete scenery. And okay, 3 a.m. What happened at 3 a.m.? Why she didn't have this headache the whole day? Only at 3 a.m. like it switched on. At 3 a.m. when you're sleeping, your system is scanning your body and is healing all your body. And around 3 a.m. you go through the liver. And on the moment that the body was trying to clean the liver, the body reacts. The body was completely blocked. The liver was blocked. So then it switched on this migraine. You can say this is crazy, but I have many cases like that. And of course, we didn't went to liver medicine, or we didn't went directly to the liver. We went deeper than that. What can block the liver? What happened in the month before, the days before? What happened? I know that anger goes directly to the liver. So then I asked that person, what happened? What have you going through? From where does your anger come? And then she said, well, this person did this to me and very bad, and I hate her. That was it. That was it for the liver. So the person made conscious what was unconscious. And from there, we try to heal that anger. And we did a process of forgiving and cutting the cords, separating the me and the you, separating them. And then the liver was okay. And then no more headache after 10 days of million anti-inflammatory pills, paracetamol, ibuprofen, and then medication for the stomach because she had problems with the stomach too. So that was it. That was the cause. And how many more months and years she could have go looking for the answer, looking to relieve that headache. We went to the root cause. I had a student with fertility problems who was abused in their childhood. And the moment she did the process of forgiving her abuser, she healed the blockage that wasn't allowing her to get pregnant. She had encapsulated the vagina, the uterus, everything, because those parts of her body provoked her so much pain in her life, in her childhood. So they were completely blocked. And when she not forget, but forgive, she healed her uterus and she became pregnant. The same problem, I had one student with abortion. In that case, it's necessary to forgive yourself also for doing that. And when we go through an abortion, we do that in a moment of unconsciousness, but we do the best we can for that moment. And we do it because we think is the option for that moment. But after, then you have problems. So you go to forgive that person that you were at that moment that took those options. We're all human, remember? We're all human. We all have our darkness. We all have our fears. And that woman in that moment of the abortion, there were many fears. So, compassion, love, forgiveness. My own example, I had problems needing people to see me, to hear me. I was trying to be perfect. We talk about the problem of perfection, but at one point, I stopped expecting that someone will approve, someone will love, someone will come and see me. I thought no one will come and save me, no one will come and see me or love me. So I will do everything by myself because I'm capable. And I stopped expecting, I stopped waiting, I just start doing. And a very long part of my life, I have been a doer. Kind of proving that I can do it by myself. And also a bit complaining, oh, you have to do it all by myself. But when I went through my forgiveness path, healing path, I stopped giving the power to others for my needs. First thing. Then I realize from where my needs come from my shadows of my childhood traumas, that I was needing in some point of my childhood, and my parents were busy or something happened that I didn't receive that. So I took it. I took it with me and I said like, okay, this is it. Now I do it all by myself. And the third thing that I learned is whatever happened in my family by that time, I had to go deeper into forgiveness to stop triggering this neediness. We're all humans. We all have been kids. We all have been traumatized in a certain way. So, humanity, forgiving the parents, forgiving that moment. And that opened me a door for help. Because I stopped being on this position, I do it all by myself. I open the door that I'm a human with flaws, I commit mistakes, and I open also for people to come in, for people to help me, and they start offering me help. So forgiveness can heal you in so many ways and change your life in so many ways. And never forget this, your healing path must go through forgiveness to bring compassion, love, and always a lot of health into your life. If you want to live this, if you want to commit to this healing path and really go into a forgiveness path, contact me. Let's do it together. It's a path that we all go through. You can go it alone or you can ask for help. And my door is open always for you if you want to go into this journey. So I hope you like this. Leave me a like, share it for someone that you really love